Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some race survival series, and we are into week number 4. Let me go over the teams for you real quick. First off, from Terran, we have BarrackS, Speed, and Scan. From Protoss, we have Snow, Movie, and Mighty. And from Zerg, Miso, HM, and Yabsab. To start it off here, we have in the bottom right, BarrackS. BarrackS, of course, in week number 2, getting a giant 4 or 5 kill win streak before Soma overcame him. So almost single-handedly winning the week for Terran himself. In the top left, we have yabsab, who has, so far, like, we have seen him. Which week did we see him in? I want to say we saw him in week 1. No, it was week 2, sorry. We did see him in week 2, but he wasn't able to win it all. In fact, I believe it was BarrackS that took him out. But either way, you know, still a very strong Zerg player. We haven't seen him yet make it into ASL, but I'm sure he's going to get there pretty soon. And yeah, the first map going to be Polypoid. So a great map to start it out on. I do think that BarrackS is a little bit favored. He's quickly becoming one of the strongest Terrans in the world. Also, you know, this is someone that I mention as an up-and-coming player, and I sometimes see these hilarious comments where like, he's been playing 12 years, Artosis. Like, how is he up and coming and all that? And it's, well, here's the thing. Even if you were a pro before, if you were never delivering and now you are, that means that you are coming up, right? Most people are pro gamers for years and years and years before they actually start to win, right? Like, a lot of people have to have losing records for Flash to have a 75% win rate. That's a fact, right? There's that trickle down. So, yeah, BarrackS, definitely someone that everyone's keeping their eyes upon. Excited to see what he's going to be able to pull off in this week number 4, since he did so well in the previous week. He is starting with a wall in the bottom right of Polypoid. Fantastic 4 walls, and he's actually cross-scouting, which is kind of funny. So he will find yabsab right off the bat. So gonna go up here and check it out and notice that this is in fact just going to be a 2-hatch opener. Gas finishing up now, so that's going to be a pretty darn quick layer, like a 255 layer or so. But with the cross spawn and the fact that BarrackS is walled in, no real danger can be had here. Definitely BarrackS going to be feeling safe and comfortable. As yabsab gets down with his drone, realizes, okay, Zergling's not going to be too useful in that early game. This Marine going to make sure that that drone does not come back, at least for now. Kind of an interesting forward position there, just to make sure that the drone cannot come in and check. In fact, he might be looking for an Overlord coming across by sending it this way as well. You know, here's a funny thing. Like, a move like this would be bad at a lower level because your opponent might be a dummy and still make lings despite the fact you have a wall. But look at this. He pushes the Overlord back. So he knows that yabsab most likely sent the Overlord south, because if they're here, you just put the Overlord there. And then if they're not here, you send it across this way so you can put it here. And so he walks out with the single Marine, pushes it back. But yeah, as I mentioned, right, like if you're playing a very weak Zerg player, even though they scout the wall in, they probably make a bunch of Zerglings. Whereas here, yabsab skipped every single Zergling, and then eventually made 2 here to chase out the SCV. But anyways, just kind of a cool move there that we saw from BarrackS. Now, taking a look, that's a very fast factory. So this is a tech build coming out of BarrackS. I would be surprised, honestly, if this is not a Valkyrie rush. Now, yes, this should be a Valkyrie rush, because we see the factory plus the academy at this time. So that would not be any sort of Goliath build. But yeah, very, very likely that we see him get up as quickly as possible into a few Valkyries to try to control the air. And just go standard bio behind that as well. It's a good thing to do behind a wall, because, you know, you're going to be feeling pretty comfortable. You can't really take damage. You don't have to make a bunker or anything like that. You just have to watch out when the mutas come to make sure you have your turrets in time, of course, and decide how heavily you'll defend these depots. A lot of the times when you do a wall and those mutalisks can end up killing off the depots, but that's a lot of time that they spend to do that. So there is that trade-off where they aren't really threatening your mineral lines or anything during that time. Okay, so we see the starport. There's the armory. Engineering Bay coming up. Already has the Academy. Looking good right now for BarrackS. Just kind of nailing everything that he needs and wants. Of course, he is going to have to make a whole bunch of turrets coming up here. He's getting those comsats just to make sure. And there is the third hatch in the main base here. Excuse me, for yabsab. And of course, part of this is he can't really figure out what's going on from BarrackS, right? Like, BarrackS could have done the Academy Rush, in which case if he had taken a third base, or his third hatchery on a third base location, then maybe that would have been knocked out, and that would actually put yabsab a bit behind. So, yeah, he's playing a little bit in the dark, but when his mutas get over there, he'll figure it out. He did start +1 carapace immediately, which can help out against the Valkyries, although it'll be a little bit later. Like, it won't finish until there's already multiple Valkyries out. Now, turrets going down absolutely everywhere. The first Valkyrie has been started before the mutas come across the map. A few turrets going down. He just basically needs enough turrets so that the mutas don't do damage before the Valkyrie is out. Because the second the Valkyrie is out, the mutas have a very hard time getting anything done. Now, here we go. He goes up, sees the Marines and Medics, sees some blinking Raxes. Yeah, the mutas come back. Everything kind of hidden pretty far down, so I'm not entirely sure that he actually is aware, but that's a very quick Hydralisk Den. So he may have seen it. He does have a couple Scourge too, so he's definitely thinking that this is some sort of tech, and I think he probably caught vision there. Now, the Valkyrie is out, so the Mutalisk Harassment is going to be a lot harder from here on out. We have range on the way. No +1 as of yet. You know, you have to skip some things. You can't afford absolutely everything. And yeah, Evolution Chamber as well as that Hydralisk Den. A beautiful scan comes down. And we have that third base location in the top right now. So these are kind of the important things going down. First off, when you see the Hydralisk Den and the Evolution Chamber at the same time from Zerg after Mutalisks, generally, what that's going to mean is that they're going to field a lot of lurkers before Hive. It's just, they're spending so much gas right there that they can't also rush Defiler. So a lot of times that just means a much larger layer-based army. And we shall see about that shortly. But we don't see it yet. Oh my god, he actually dived on the Volks. He gets one there. I'm actually a little bit surprised. I was just noticing on the production tab, we still have Mutas and Scourge being made. Well, he is going to have the +1 armor, which makes it a lot easier to fight the Valkyries. But that's, like, this is still scary. Like, BarrackS can still wreck his army if he keeps the Valkyrie alive long enough. I think there's a lot of heavy weight right now upon the 2 Scourge, right? Like, if he can snap the Valkyrie out of the skies really quickly, either one of them, then he can beat this army. But if not, he's in big trouble. All right, some Valkyrie missiles coming out now. Here we go. The mutas coming in. And I mean, this is a lot of Valkyrie shots that do end up going off. The mutas pretty badly hurt at this point. Marines stimming forward into this top right base. By the way, we see Vulture Speed on the way. So it looks like this could end up actually being a mech switch out of BarrackS. This is a really interesting build that I'll talk about here once this calms down a little bit. But right now, all that really matters is whether or not BarrackS gets to kill this top right base. Another Valkyrie coming up with some more reinforcements. And the answer to that is yes. This base is going to end up falling. yabsab going to lose his top right location. It looks like he's trying to bring in more Zerglings, but honestly, there's nothing to be done. Yeah, the hatchery has already popped. He's going to lose some Overlords, the drones that are popping out as well. And that's rough right there. Let's see what he's doing at home. He is getting that Lurker upgrade, getting the Carapace upgrade as well. So he's actually going to have much better upgrades than BarrackS. So that's good because BarrackS never started +1. And again, the reason for that is very likely he's going into a mech switch. So you can, you know, a lot of people do get +1 with the mech switch. But the fact that he's gone for Speed Vultures, now he's going into Mines. That is what it's looking like right now. Now, the Mutas, and the Lings come up, and he is trying right now to take out everything. The Mutas will end up clearing this Bioforce with a few left over. Vultures, though, have gotten into the main base. See how many drones he can actually end up killing with them. He does have a few Ling kills on them already. Hive on the way. yabsab has expanded to that bottom left. We're going to see if he can actually get that up and maintain it this time. Still going after some of these drones, but looks like this vulture will be taken out as well. I think yabsab's starting to have a decent idea of what's going on. And yeah, look at that. Irradiate as well as vehicle weapons. Still making some bio. He still wants some bio on the map. But he will eventually add mass factories. There's that third command. This is a really interesting update to this mech version. I first saw this version of Bio Valkyrie into mech from Light months ago during the King of the Hill matches. And that's something where Tastes and I were both casting. They are here on the cast channel. You can definitely check that out. But Light did this build multiple times, where you open up with Bio Valkyrie, you take map control, you go into Speed Vultures, and then bam, a bunch of factories. But I don't know how far we're going to get into that, because the third base is being destroyed here. Yabsab just doesn't have much going on. Look at that supply differential. This is a very tough situation right now. And it's a very cool build. Look, see, another factory coming up. Still no attack upgrades or anything from his bio. So it looks like a full switch is about to occur. Now, Hydralisk upgrades are coming out, as well as +1 for the mutas on air. Look at that, even mixing in a Vulture drop. This is definitely a highly upgraded version of the build Light was using. Really, really interesting from BarrackS. And yabsab just not really having the answer, unfortunately. Look at this, he's down to 28 workers. His muta's unable to really find any damage or anything. BarrackS completely safe this entire time. A beautiful high SCV count, keeping his Valk alive there, as you see. And he has complete map control. I mean, look at the mini-map right now. There's mines everywhere, vultures, bio going across. Yeah, like, what are you going to be able to field here from yabsab to hold on to this base? As soon as he figures out about that, it's going to be going down. Another group of bio going up to the side to check this location. Of course, when he sees it's not there. Okay, GG is called, and BarrackS takes game 1.